Hey everyone, this is Pastor Jason. Man, what a crazy week it has been. If anybody would have told you how this week was going to unfold back a week ago, you would have thought they were out of their minds. I mean, who knew that we would be where we are today? Certainly, I've never faced anything like this in my lifetime, and maybe some of you have, I don't know, but it's wild. It feels like the Wild West. I mean, you go to the grocery store and people are freaking out. And listen, I don't think it's time to freak out. This is a time for God's people to have faith, to show what it looks like to live with the peace of Jesus Christ, even in uncertain times. And that's what we're all about, and that's what I hope you're all about in your faith. But it's still a little unnerving, isn't it? I mean, there's lots of unknowns out there. Now, we at Tower Hill are doing our very best to keep up with the situation as it unfolds, but also to make good, wise decisions about our ministry, what we should do, what does it mean going forward in this really uncertain time. Now, Governor Murphy had made a recommendation that there are no gatherings larger than 250, and he's actually going to be live today, I think, at 2 o'clock Eastern, and we fully expect him to make some bans on such gatherings. But we've been thinking about this. We, the leadership team, and I have been thinking a lot about this week and have been processing it and figuring out what's the right move for Tower Hill. Understanding that Jesus says, who by worrying can add a single hour to their life? He says, I want to give you life and give it to the full. How do we put our trust and our faith forward while at the same time deal with the very real concerns around us? And so, for reasons I'm going to explain in a minute, we are going to make some changes to our ministry life together. And that is, at least for this week, beginning this Sunday, our church campus is going to be closed, and we are not going to have worship services here on campus. We're going to move our ministries online. We're going to have online worship and online Sunday school, as well as some other things. But the reason why we're doing this isn't because of fear or panic. I want to quote a really good friend of mine who is the vice president at Princeton Seminary. He had a really wonderful article that he wrote. His name's Shane Berg. He's executive vice president. And he was responding to the seminary's decision to cancel many of their activities. And he said this, and I wholeheartedly agree. It is not fear or irrational caution that led us to put robust social distancing in place. It is rather fidelity to Christ's charge to love our neighbors and care for the least of these that compels us. We choose to limit for a season our participation in certain forms of human community, which bring us so much life and joy, in order to preserve human life. And of course, we've been talking about what's been known as flattening the curve. What we're trying to do is, in the face of a pandemic, to love our neighbor by putting the people most vulnerable in our society at the least amount of risk. And if we can flatten that curve so that we can extend or delay the spread of the virus, then we can help with the capacity of the hospitals around us. We can help make sure that people are getting the Medicare or the medical attention that they need, and be part of the solution, not part of the problem. We believe that this is all about loving our neighbor as ourselves. And even though it's counterintuitive that we're going to close some things, we're going to stop some activities and programs and create social distance, it's actually what we believe is the most loving thing that we can do at this time. Not that we're freaking out because we're afraid we're all going to get the virus, but rather we want to protect the most vulnerable among us. So that is our plan for now. Let me unpack exactly what it's going to look like, what life is going to look like just here at Tower Hill for this week. And again, this is our plan for this week. We don't know yet if it's going to continue another week, another 2 weeks, another 3 weeks. We're going to have to keep you posted on that. So we're just taking it one day at a time, 1 week at a time. But the idea is, as I said before, we're going to have no on-campus worship service. It's all going to be online, streaming, and Sunday school. It's going to stream through our Facebook page. So all I have to do is log on to our Facebook page at 10:30, and you will be able to stream the service. We're going to be here doing the service, just with an empty room. And then we're going to have Sunday school on Facebook immediately following. So it's a great time to gather your kids. I want to encourage you. You're going to have plenty of time for Netflix. Take that time on Sunday morning and engage in the life of the church. We can still worship together even though we aren't gathered together. We can be gathered together in spirit. And also, the building will be closed. All meetings and activities are canceled or moved online according to your group and what they're leading. We also have set up a special email account for people who are in need of help. If you are stuck inside, if you don't have food, if you need help, send us an email, and it's help@towerhillchurch.org. Also, what I'm realizing is we really need to stay connected with Jesus during this time. So what I'm going to do beginning Monday, March 16th, is a daily video devotional, again on Facebook, at 10:10 a.m. Why 10:10? Because John chapter 10, verse 10 says, I have come to bring them life, and that to the full. And it's a reminder that the Lord wants to bring us life even in the midst of such fear and uncertainty. So I'm going to do a brief devotional every day for as long as we think it's needed for us to stay the course and stay connected. Now, some of you may be wondering, what if I don't have Facebook? We're working on that. We're trying to figure out how to take all of our video content and move it to another platform so that folks can go use that. For example, YouTube or some other platform. We're in the process of figuring all out. This is all new for us too. So bear with us, be patient as we go from one thing to the next. And I definitely want to invite you to participate in the devotional if you can. Also, if you're not on Facebook, you could set up an account, and heck, you could put whatever information you want if you're worried about them tracking your information or something. But all of this to say, the most important thing that we can do is pray. And so will you please commit to praying for our community, for our church, for the people who are the most vulnerable, that the Lord would protect and preserve us, but most importantly, that he would help us to continue to be the church even in the face of crises. Listen, we've been through a crisis before. Many of you have lived through crises your whole life. God's not going to let us go now. Let's keep our trust in him. Let's be smart. Let's be good citizens. Let's be the church. And let's do that together. Until next time, you can always reach out to me, Jason at towerhillchurch.org, if you have any questions. And God bless you guys. Let's keep strong, and hopefully we'll see you virtually in worship on Sunday.